There's a Steven Show, the Steven Show, the Steven Show, yeah.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Steven Alexander, and I am so happy to be with you guys today. Today, I have an awesome guest with me today. She is one of my mom's good friends. I've been knowing her for a couple of years now, and she's just so inspirational to so many people. Inspiration, rather. I need to speak right if I'm going to talk about somebody, right? But she is an entrepreneur. She is a businesswoman. She is just just everything that you could possibly imagine. And also she's a mentor. And I wanted to sit down with her today just to get to know her more and just hear her story. How are you today, Ashley?
I'm doing well. How are you, Steven?
I'm doing good. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. So how have you been holding up during quarantine?
I've been doing great. Actually, the quarantine has not been bad at all. It has allowed me to focus on myself, do some self-evaluation, some self-improvement. It has allowed me to focus on my business and really get that pushing and building my brand. So it's actually been really good for me. I cannot complain at all.
That's good. That's good. I know you are a busybody and you're a people person. So how have you been adjusting to just, I don't know, all this weirdness now?
Yeah. So being as outgoing and being, like you said, a people person, that part has definitely been a challenge. But you know what? This Zoom has really been beneficial because I do Zoom meetings with some friends. We actually do exercises via Zoom as well. So it has allowed me to do that. There's also another app called House Party. House Party is another app that I'm familiar with. It's similar to Zoom that we can set up and we can have a meeting with multiple people. So I've been really getting into my technology since I've been in quarantine. So I've been able to do that, to chit chat with some friends and chit chat with family and my god baby. So it's been really good, really, really good.
Yes, I definitely, that's good to hear because I tell you, for me, it's been pretty good, but I'm a people person. So I've been limiting my time with certain people, in my life. And it's just weird because I like to just be out there, just going. But enough talking about me because this is not about me. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about just number one, how much of an inspiration you are to so many people who look up to you. Many people do not understand that in order to achieve something in your life, you have to go get it. You have to be a go-getter. You have to go, you can't wait for it to happen. You have to go grab it. People say, go grab that bag. And that's what you do. You have to go grab it. And I just want to ask you, I've been knowing you for a couple of years and you've been one of my mom's good friends and just supporting my mom and supporting me. And there's been real love there. I just want to ask you, have you always had that sense of positivity in your life? Did you have any struggles as a child growing up?
Absolutely. So the positivity has not always been there. Growing up, my childhood was very challenging. I did not have the support that I desired as a child. So growing up, I played a lot of sports. I did lots and lots of activities. I did basketball, volleyball, track, softball. I started modeling when I was age 11, and I didn't have that support from friends and family. I probably would more so say family then because I was so much younger. But I know something that you and I have never discussed. So my mom, growing up, my mom was a severe alcoholic. So my mom never did attend any of my functions, none of my sporting events. I don't think my mom ever saw me bounce a basketball in the 6 years that I played basketball all year long. I played AAU basketball. I played basketball throughout school, and I did not have that support. So I started to model at age 11, and my mom would come and support my fashion shows. But like I said, being a severe alcoholic, sometimes she would come to the shows a little bit tipsy. So that was really hard for me because I was kind of torn between, okay, am I excited because she's here? Or do I wish she wasn't here because of the circumstance? So I just had to accept it for what it was. Me coming into my modeling career at age 11, that really kind of helped me express myself as an individual. Prior to that, I was very, very shy, very reserved. I didn't really talk to people. some of my family tell me today, they're like, Ashley, I thought, you know, something was wrong with you. You were off a little bit because you were so quiet. Like, I did not interact with people. I was literally to myself. I didn't speak to anybody or nothing. But I started modeling, and the very first rehearsal, I had some tennis shoes. I had on tennis shoes. I did not bring any additional shoes to model in. I was like, hey, I'm used to wearing tennis shoes. I play basketball, so hey, I'm going to the rehearsal with the tennis shoes. And I remember my model coach and instructor, she said, baby, I don't think you're gonna make it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. But I tried. I kept going to rehearsal. I kept pushing myself. I tried. I learned how to walk in heels. And then I did my very, very first fashion show. When I did that very first fashion show, it was like my alter ego came out. I was a completely different person. I felt that self-esteem, that confidence. Yes, I was nervous in front of the crowd, but it allowed me to really, really express myself. I was like, oh, I guess I am pretty. You know, I guess I am beautiful. You know, the crowd is cheering and, you know, they're excited and everything. And that really made me feel comfortable about myself, because prior to that, I didn't really have that comfort that was there.
So why didn't you have it? Was there anything that made you feel?
I think because of the lack of, like I said, the support from my family, the lack of support that was there. My family wasn't affectionate. I didn't get the, oh, I love you, or here's a hug. I didn't get any of that. It pretty much was, I was just for myself. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, I didn't get that love and that support. So I did not know how to display that towards anybody else, because I didn't get it for myself. So I was very like reserved because of that. You know, I witnessed throughout school, I witnessed a lot of my friends that played sports with me and just friends throughout school. Their family would come to like their games and sporting events, and they really supported them. You would see them at every event, but I never had that support. And so deep down inside, I was really hurting, and I did not know how to express that. I expressed it really with anger.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've heard of like the kids who need the most love will ask for it in the most unloving way.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I did. I expressed myself with anger and frustration, because I really wanted that love that I saw other people receive, but I didn't get it for myself.
Yeah, you know, I appreciate you saying that, because, you know, there are so many people who have encountered that in their childhood, but it's also in how you make it out to be. Do you choose to, you know, be the same way you were treated, or do you choose to be better? And I just think it's really awesome to see that you are choosing to be better. I want to ask you now, because obviously you do model, and you've been doing it for so long. I want to ask you, have you had any challenges go throughout the way? Because I know in modeling, it's very, very strict. People are very critical and critique you. You know, if you're not this certain skin tone, if you're not this certain size, if they don't feel like you're pretty enough or whatever, they will come at your throat and make you feel like you are just horrible. Have you ever encountered that? And if so, what did that look like for you, and how did you navigate and deal with that?
Absolutely. I've definitely encountered that. So myself, I'm a plus size model. So a lot of times I've taken part in fashion shows where people that I'm not familiar with already, they don't know me. So they look at my size and say, oh, well, no, I don't want you to model this, or, you know, I don't want you to do this. And I've had people say, well, do you think you're going to be able to walk in heels? Like I've heard a lot of stuff. Like I said, these are from people who don't know me. I've never worked with them before. Like they literally just look at my size, and it's like there's some sort of judgment. Like, oh, she's not going to be able to walk, or I don't think she'll look right in this outfit. And I actually went out of town one time. I drove to do a fashion show. The lady who was coordinating the show asked me to come to be a part of the show. I went to be a part of the fashion show. I get there. She did not have time to make my garment. So I did not have anything to wear. So she looked at some of the other designers And she said, well, hey, do you have anything for Ashley to wear? You have anything her size? And I remember one of the designers kind of gave me like a real funny look, like, no, I don't have anything, you know, her size. And it took everything out of me not to say anything and not to be angry and frustrated and not to display an attitude. And I just kept my composure the entire time. I didn't say a word. I just held it in. And later on, everybody was getting fitted for the fashion show. And the lady who coordinated the show, she had made a garment specifically for a friend of hers. And she wanted to wear that as the finale piece. So when her friend put the outfit on, she couldn't fit it. It was too big for her. So it was a makeup artist that was backstage, and she was like, well, see if Ashley can wear it. And everybody's kind of looking like, really don't want her to wear it. And then I put it on, and they was like, oh my God, like the perfect size for this. So I actually got to wear the piece. I wore one outfit. And again, I just kept my composure the whole time. Down inside, I was so frustrated. I was so angry because of the looks that I got. And fast forward months later, I'm glad that I held it in, because those same people have called me back to do fashion shows for them time after time and to host events for them time after time. The same lady that gave me that stank look has reached out to me 3 different times and said, hey, can you come model for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, okay. So now they've learned who I am. They follow me on social media, and they're like, oh, I didn't know she could do this. I didn't know she had the potential to do this. So now they look at me, you know, in a different light now.
Yeah.
Versus just looking at me saying, oh, you know, she's a plus model. I don't really want her to do this or do that. You know, I guess it's kind of like a misconception of, okay, if you're a certain size, then you don't really have what it takes. And so that's one thing I guess a lot of people admire, because I don't allow my size to hold me back. I'm like, if you a size 2, you can do it. Guess what? I can do it at my size 16.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, I can do it at my size 16, you know, so I don't allow that to hold me back. And so that's one thing that I coach, you know, self-esteem and confidence, no matter your size, your height, your skin tone, your background, none of that matters. Do you feel like you can do it on the inside? Then absolutely you can display it on the outside, and don't allow anybody to hold you back.
And see, I like that. And see, that's the embracing attitude that you have, that it exudes. And I wish people kind of understood how because even on stage for you, it shows. Like you I'm out here, you see me, okay, you might be a size 2, I might be a size 16, you might be a size 24, but I don't care about that, because I'm out here, it's my time to shine. And that shows on the stage. And I think it's really awesome about what you just stated too, because like growing up all my life, my mom is obviously a plus size woman. She's always been a plus size woman. And watching her in my younger years, she struggled with, you know, her esteem, carrying herself in a way that she felt beautiful. And it wasn't until I remember as a child, like, Mama, wear that color. Don't put that old lady stuff on. Wear that. Because that's you. And then now my mom is 53 years old. You would think she's 33 because she's trying to be young. But I'm not calling mom old, but I'm just saying, like, that self-esteem, you know, I wish people had that. And it doesn't matter what size you are or what color you are. You embrace it. And as far as the color thing, that is something that's on a whole different spectrum. Because like, I can only imagine how that is for you. Have you had any issues with that? Just being a Black woman at that, a Black person?
I haven't really faced a lot of challenges as far as my skin tone, not when it comes to modeling. In the workplace, definitely. And I think that's very common. In the workplace, absolutely. I've worked in settings where I guess I would say, like, you know, if I have a white director or manager, sometimes I feel like us as Black women are treated differently. I have experienced that. And I think that's kind of pretty much worldwide. That's a worldwide thing. So I try my best not to allow that to get to me, because it's common. I'm not going to say that it happens everywhere, but it happens in a lot of places. And myself, I mean, I'm not racist by any means. That means I have white friends, black friends, Asian friends, whatever, you know, I love a person for who they are, not because of what they look like, what their skin tone, their height, size. I could care less about that. I care about who you are on the inside. And I wish a lot of people focused on people's inside rather than, you know, okay, I'm going to judge you or criticize you because you look this way versus this way.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, not as far as modeling, I really haven't experienced it, not as far as the skin tone,
you know,
or the race.
I like what you just said too, because I think another thing that we also don't understand, I think a lot of people say, oh, we're all the same. No, we're not. I used to say that when I was younger, we're all the same. And then when I got older and I realized, no, we're not. Because as you can see watching this episode, you see, obviously you're a female, I'm a male. You know, because we're, you know, and then obviously if we're all the same, we're all different. We all look the same, but we're all different. We're both Black, as you can see. If and the teeny surprise to anybody, but your skin tone is different than mine, you know, and even with that, we're different. So what I'm saying is we have to embrace that and understand that we're all different, and you have to love and respect that. And if you cannot do that, I think that's an issue on your end. And it's not coming out of hostility, me saying that. I'm just saying that you need to look at yourself, because you have an issue and you need to re-examine yourself. I want to ask you now, just being a businesswoman, being a uplifting woman and a Black woman, what do you want your legacy to be for those who look up to you? What do you want them to think of when they see you, when they're around you? How do you want to impact them?
So for me, like I said, confidence and self-esteem is very, very important to me. When I mentor, when I runway coach, I coach from the inside out. So I want to build that self-esteem and confidence on the inside and let people know, regardless of what your childhood is, where you come from, you do not have to be a product of your environment. Like you mentioned earlier, you can either continue down that pathway, or you can say, hey, I'm going to stray in the opposite direction, wherever that may be. So that's one thing that I chose for myself. Okay, do I want to continue the lifestyle that I grew up in, or what I was surrounded in when I was younger, or do I want to go and do something different? And that's why I work so hard. I push so hard to be different than what I grew up in. I want to be completely different from the environment that I grew up in. And so, like I said, I coach on self-esteem and confidence to let people know you can go out and accomplish and achieve whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you put your mind to it and don't allow anybody to hold you back. A lot of times we get held back from doing things because we communicate our aspirations to other people, and those people rub their fears off on us. So in turn, we're like, oh, well, maybe I can't do that, or maybe I shouldn't do that because Susie Joe over here said I shouldn't do that because she attempted to do that and it didn't work out for her, so it may not work out for me. So then now I have a setback, so I'm still left, you know, questioning myself whether I should do it or not. My thing is, go do it. I know there's a lot of fears of what if it doesn't work out, but what if it does work out? Yeah. And you won't ever know until you put yourself out there and just try it. You may never know. And a lot of times, you know, we seek things and we have this idea of doing something and we feel like, okay, it doesn't start out well, so maybe this is not going to work. But you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing, keep going. It may not happen overnight. It may take months. It may take years. But you just have to keep going for it. If it's something that you truly want to do and you're truly destined to do it, it will definitely come to fruition. You just got to put yourself out there and do it.
Right.
Yep.
You know, I want to ask you, obviously you're in the modeling world and you're in that whole realm. Do you have people who try to, because sometimes with being in that, you have a lot of competition, people trying to be like you, people trying to compare themselves to you, people trying to make you feel like, you know, like there's this issue, like it's always that. Do you ever, have you ever encountered that? And how do you deal with that? Like, how do you face that? How do you, because so many people deal with that and they don't know how to just continue to go, because it's easy to get blindsided because of people's insecurity. They say insecurity on you and make you feel that negative energy that they have that's coming from them. You know? So
Yep,
how do you deal
that
with
is absolutely correct. So I have definitely experienced it. So I've actually had a couple people that were at one time considered a friend, a true friend, people that I hung out with regularly, people that have been to my home, I've been to their home, we've met each other, friends and family, and that kind of faded away. And I noticed those people, they started to, if I did a photo shoot, whatever that photo shoot is, whatever my wardrobe is, if I posted it today, a month later, they did something identical or very, very similar. They got as close to it as they could. I used to work with this young lady, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I used to work with this young lady, and she called herself an aspiring model, which is fine, whatever. I'm not the only model in the world, so I just don't think anything of it. She wants to
that?
model. So she started to, I love my blonde hair.
Yeah.
So I wear my big blonde wig. I wear my big blonde wig to work and stuff. And next thing I know, she started wearing blonde wigs to work. I'm like, that's interesting, because I never seen her do it in the year that I have worked with her. She never wore blonde, but okay, whatever. So then she started to dress like me at work. Literally, if I had on something on Monday, by Friday, she was gonna have that same outfit on. I'm talking about from head to toe, shoes, everything. And she would even ask me, hey, where'd you get this from or that from? And I don't, I didn't think anything of it. So I would just share. I'm like, oh, girl, I got this from wherever, wherever, not thinking that she was asking because she wanted to purchase the same exact item. It's like she was trying to be a replica of me. And what made me notice it is coworkers started to point it out to me. I didn't even notice it because I just wasn't paying that much attention to her. But coworkers started to point out to me. They were like, hey, did you see blah, blah had this on? You had this on Monday, didn't you? And I noticed she got the same hair as you. And I'm like, oh, wow. And so I started to pay attention and I noticed it. And I was like, that's very interesting. And that person started to like back away from me. So the friendship kind of went away. But I noticed it's like I said, she was trying to be a replica of me. Even when I stopped working for that company, we're still social media friends. And people ask me, well, why don't you delete her? No, I'm not going to delete her. You get to see, I'm not going to delete. You get to see all this inspiration, all of this greatness. I'm not going to delete you. No. I mean, why would I delete you for what? I don't have anything to hide or none of that. You get to see all of this. So I've noticed even, though we don't work together anymore, this person still tries to do the same things that I do. So again, if I post a photo shoot, about a month later, here's her photo shoot. If I post anything, here you go. Here's her, photo shoot. Here's her picture. Here's her new hair, whatever. Again, a lot of people bring this to my attention. These are things that I don't even notice on my own. Like, you know how people are. They'll send you screenshots or say, hey, did you see such and such posted this or posted that? And I'm like, wow, that's kind of scary. And believe it or not, I've had that same thing happen with 2 different people.
That's crazy.
It
I
is.
think it's funny what you said though, because I'm a firm believer in that too. I'm not going to delete you. I see you. I see you for who you are, and I want you to see this because this
Exactly.
is original. You can feel however you want to feel, but okay, I'm not gonna be petty like that because I see that you're trying to, you're trying to use me for your elevation, and it's cute. Continue to do your thing.
Exactly. It's like, hey, you can't be me, and I can't be you.
That's right.
Hey, I don't delete you for what? That's my thing. Delete you for what?
Now I want to ask you, have you ever had people in your life that tried to hold you back from fulfilling your dreams? Because people who have such big minds and have the entrepreneurship mind, it's almost like people don't really understand them because you think on a different level than most people think. You get what I'm saying? Have you had people who don't really understand you and try to pull you back from you living your best life and your best dream? And if so, what did that look like for you? And what advice could you give to that person who's going through that?
So absolutely, yes. So two different situations I'll give you. So one thing I would say that's pretty much happened mostly throughout my adulthood. So I love to dress up. I love to wear heels. And oftentimes, let's say if I go out with friends or I'm around people, they're like, why you gotta wear heels, or why you gotta wear this, or why you gotta wear that, da, 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 da. And it's not anything like revealing or exposed, but it just may be an outfit or some colors that I may put together that the next person may not necessarily think about. But
Right.
it's just like, I may think about it because I think out of the box. I'm just a different kind of person. So, I've had so many friends, it's like they try to, I'm not going to say attack, but almost like question my decision when it comes to wardrobe. And, I just say, hey, this is me. This is what I have chosen to wear. You can wear what you want to wear. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. And I just don't allow that to hold me back. I still just basically just do me.
Yeah.
If my thing is, if you don't like it, then don't look. I mean, it's just point blank. If you don't like it, then don't look. This is what I have selected to wear. You wear what you want to wear. And I had to tell a friend of mine one time, because she would wear all black all the time. And I told her, I said, different colors affect your mood. They really do affect your mood. So I like all kinds of colors. I like pretty much whatever. But if I wear something bright or bold, that comes out in your personality. It comes out in your aura with people around you. So, and I told her, I was like, you wear black all the time. That's why you're so bitter and angry, and that's why you feel the need to attack me, because she would wear black all the time. Like, that's why you're so evil. Not that there's anything wrong with black, because I love black myself, but I'm just like, if that's what you choose to wear all day, every day, then you choose that for yourself. But let me wear my bold yellow, green, purple, orange, whatever color I want to wear. Just let me do me.
Right.
Just let me do me.
That's funny that you say that, because that happens a lot where people are like, I like that. And I just think that's why I can just see that's why you keep going, because all those things that come at you allow you to persevere and keep moving. I want to ask you now. So obviously you are now starting modeling classes for ladies 16 and up. What made you do that? Like, I think that is so awesome, number one, because Nashville's growing. You're in the Nashville area, but I know you travel as well doing modeling. But that's just so awesome, because I don't know anyone who's really doing what you're doing in Nashville. So what made you decide to do that?
So I decided to do it because, of course, I've done hundreds of fashion shows, and oftentimes at shows, I get a lot of women that'll pull me to the side, young girls or women that'll pull me to the side and say, hey, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? So in a sense, I've done on a smaller scale, I've done like model coaching and runway coaching and training and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of people come to me and say, hey, why don't you do a class for this? Or, you should have your own model studio. Just, a lot of stuff. Like, people just kind of encourage me to really push harder and go on a larger scale. So I have been doing some private sessions that I've done. They were specifically for a fashion show that we were working on back in July. And the lady who was coordinating the fashion show, she said, hey, Ashley, can you work with a few of the girls that need, to strengthen up in specific areas pertaining to modeling? And I was like, of course, that's what I love to do. I'm passionate about doing it. I don't even feel like I'm working. I'm just like, of course, I'm excited to do it. So I worked with the young ladies, and like instantly after one class, I saw instant improvement. Wow. I saw their self-esteem rise, like the walk, the confidence, everything. I just felt was on point. And I noticed it like immediately. So I was like, you know what? This may be something great to do. And again, I love doing it. So, hey, I don't feel like I'm working. So with that, I did those private classes, and we had recorded some clips from the private classes. And so I started to post those, and I got such great feedback. People would inbox me, or they would comment on my post and say, hey, when is the next class? I want to be a part of this, or I want my daughter to be a part of this, or I have a friend that would be great at this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put together some classes for real. So I started putting together classes. I was like, oh, this will be great. And I open it up to anybody. Like, you don't have to have any type of experience. you can barely know how to walk in heels. I'm happy to work with you. So I really want it to be for like all levels. If you are an aspiring model, or even if you just say, hey, I just want to do something different. We've been in quarantine for months, absolutely nothing to do, just sitting in the house. Some people are bored. So, hey, I can get them out of the house. We can have fun. We can laugh and joke, and we can increase their self-esteem and that confidence. And it'll display in more areas than just them walking or modeling. It'll display in their careers as well, or their personal life. So that's why I wanted to do the classes. So this is going to be my first official class, I guess I can say. It's going to be Thursday, September 10th at 6:30 at Adore Boutique in Nashville.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said anyone age 16 and up that are ladies can go, but you also mentor guys as well, right?
I do. So when it comes to modeling, I do work with some of the guys, but I have a counterpart too. Terry, you know Terry. You
Yeah.
met Terry.
Oh yeah.
Terry usually focus on the guys more because Terry's been modeling for a long time too. He has that guy swag, and you know he can work with the guys more so. So I do a little bit with the guys. That's a small percentage as far as modeling with the guys. But yeah, Terry pretty much he focused on the guys for the most part for me. But I do mentor young men in the mentoring program that I work with, which is separate from modeling. I work with the Big Brother, Big Sister program of Middle Tennessee. So I do coach or mentor girls and boys in that program. So yeah.
Can you kind of talk to us about that a little bit? What the program is about, and
yeah. So yes, I've actually been doing this program since 2011. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been what, 9 years?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been in the program for 9 years. I actually started out with a young lady. So typically, most of the time, you know, you may mentor someone of the same gender most times. So I started out with a young lady. We were together for about 4 years. I think she was 14 when we started. So you work with them up until they're 18. So I worked with her. That was really, really good. She had her mother and father both present in her life, and she had a lot of support from friends and family. She just one of those, there was a lot of peer pressure. You know how it is. People around you, they want to take part in certain things. They try to influence you. So she just needed somebody to guide her aside from that. Because you know how it is. We don't want to listen to our parents. Our parents can tell us all day long, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And what are we going to do? We're going to go do it. We have to see what it's like for ourselves. So crazy enough, sometimes we'll listen to an outsider before we listen to those people who really love us, care about us. They know all about us. It's hard for us to listen to those people. I'm guilty of it. I don't want to hear anything anybody has to say. So I was able to kind of help, you know, coach her and guide her, you know, on a better track instead of allowing, you know, the peer pressure to influence her. And once she turned 18, we stayed in contact, but she was no longer part of the program. And so that's how I transitioned to another match. I am with a young man now. We got together when he was age 11, and he'll be 16 in December. So for him, he doesn't have, his mom is not in his life. So he doesn't have a female figure or positive influence in his life. So that's kind of where I came into play, and I was able to be that for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just so amazed by everything you've said, because that shows you're showing a lot of who you are in this interview. And lots of people already know who you are, because when you come into a room, it's like you're just who you are. And it's really,
thank you.
And people know that when they see that, even if they don't know you, they can sense that. And I just think it's really awesome, the things that you're doing, because I can tell you're not seeing it as, you know, for yourself. You're seeing it how you can help other people and other people and building other people up in a society where we all live in, where we're trying to compete and be better than the next person. Sometimes we forget that we just need to do our own thing. Stay in your lane. That's what my grandmother says. She's been trying to do that here recently, and I commend her because she's actually been doing great with it. But she always says that, stay in her lane. She's staying. That means minding your business and doing what you need to do for yourself. And I think that's really important, you know, for all of us to succeed. I just want to ask you now, what advice would you give any young person, any middle-aged person, or any old person who feel as if they can't win, that life is against them and they'll never succeed. They don't know what it is they want to achieve in this life. What advice could you give them?
Okay, first I would say definitely pray about it. Allow God to direct your path. If it's something that, one thing I've learned, if it's something that keeps coming to your mind, let's say if you have a vision one day and you're like, oh, I just kind of pushed that off. I don't know, that's crazy, off the wall. I'm not going to do anything like that. And then a few months later or a year or so later, it comes to you again. It keeps coming to you. That's like God nudging at you like, hey, this is what you should be doing. It may sound crazy, over the top, something way off the wall, but that's what you should be doing. And I think that they should definitely focus on that. You should definitely, if you need some mentoring or some training or some type of guidance, or somebody that may already be in that field of whatever your interest is, you can go ahead and get that, and definitely just live out your dreams. Just do whatever it is. As we know, hey, life is short. We don't know if we're going to wake up tomorrow or the day after that, but go out and live your dreams, whatever it is. And it's never too late. It's never too late. I have people that model with me that are age 50 and 60. It's never too late. If it's something that you love to do, you enjoy doing, if you wake up every morning, that's a new opportunity for you to go out and live out your dreams, whatever that may be. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old, or you're too big, or you too dark skinned, too light skinned, too whatever. Do not allow other people's fears to hold you back. Just go out and do it.
I love that. Yes. And I hope everyone who's watching today receives that. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you to mention again about this Thursday, September 10th, where they can find you, and just let people know so that they can write this down. Make sure they come. And you said classes have already filled up, right? Have classes already filled up?
It's not full, so I have about 5 more slots available. So if you guys are watching, definitely sign up. I'll give you the information. So the class is going to be this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. It's at Adore Boutique. It's actually located in Antioch. Okay. It's at 5314 Mount View Road in Antioch, Tennessee. You can also find that information on my social media page. If you go to Facebook, I am Ashley Rose, or A Rose the model. If you're on my Instagram, it's I am A Rose. All together, I am A Rose. And like I said, I have 5 more slots available, ages 16 and up, ladies only. I may have classes coming up in the future for the men, but I have to get my male models on board to be able to coach that. But I am looking into doing that, and I'm looking at doing other ages as well. But definitely, if you guys are interested, please sign up for this Thursday's class. The tickets are to be purchased on Eventbrite, and all of that information is on my social media page.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to thank you so much, because this conversation has been nothing but full of just positivity, and I feel uplifted. And I just appreciate that. I just appreciate that so much. And is there anything else you would like to say to anyone watching, just on your own, before we wrap up?
Let's see. There's not anything I can think of. There's not anything I can think of at this moment. But thank you, though. There's not anything I can think of at this moment. I do want to definitely thank you for this opportunity. I don't know if it comes off, but I was very, very nervous. I appreciate you. I love your spirit. Everything about you is absolutely amazing. You keep pushing forward for your dreams and your goals and aspirations. And I know you're not going to let anybody hold you back. So I'm not worried about that. So you definitely keep going. Do, Steve, and continuously. And you motivate me and inspire me as well. So I am definitely thankful and appreciative to know you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate
You're welcome.
So much. Well, guys,
absolutely.
I thank you guys for watching, and just supporting the show and supporting Ashley, and I just thank all of you guys. I want you to continue to stay safe. We are in quarantine. I know lots of people are still, you know, navigating through that, going back to school, going back to college, please wear your mask, even if it's not mandated, because it's not about you at this point. It's about your grandmother who's 78 years old and who has heart issues. It's about your grandfather who's 89 years old. It's about your ailing mother. It's about your little sibling. So it's not about you. So keep that in mind when you go about your everyday lifestyle. Much love to you guys, and stay positive. And remember, I will see you with another episode soon. Stay tuned. Why? You're watching IST.